All right, everybody, welcome back. Brian Reese here, the VA Claims Insider. Welcome back to the specialized module here where we're talking about some various high-value claims and some strategies for you. And so in this module, I want to talk about a lifestyle impact claim. Of all the things we do, it's probably the one claim that we get the most questions on by far. Because a lot of vets, I think they don't know what it is. And they don't know if they qualify for it. It's just kind of maybe something you've heard in an online forum or something out there, and you're curious if it pertains to you. Okay, so we'll step through this here, and hopefully you'll get a better understanding of what a lifestyle claim is. Okay, so a couple things here first is, are you eligible under the law? Okay, so a lifestyle impact claim is nothing more than a high-value secondary claim for mental health. Okay, so I want you to be aware, though, of what this means for you. So number one is you have to have a medical diagnosis of a mental health condition, okay, by a mental health professional. So a U.S. board certified psychologist or a U.S. board certified psychiatrist, okay? You can't file any claim for mental health or a lifestyle impact claim unless you have a diagnosis. So if you think you might have depression, anxiety, insomnia, whatever, go to the VA, go to your private doctor, and let them know what's going on with you as far as symptoms go so that you can get a diagnosis, okay? The second thing there is your mental health condition. It must have been caused or made worse by your active duty military service. Again, that's what legally we call and refer to as the nexus. So if it's been more than 12 months since you've transitioned out of active duty and you don't already have a mental health claim or you don't have PTSD, but you weren't diagnosed in service, all right, you remember this gets tougher. All right, the longer time has passed since you left active service to the present day, the harder it is to prove service connection. But what I'm showing you in this video is a hack of how you get secondary service connection for mental health, okay? And then the third thing there is persistent and reoccurring symptoms of anxiety, depression, insomnia, whatever your mental health condition is, into the present day. And you guys have heard me talk about this before. That's what we refer to as the severity of symptoms, which is all about how is your disability affecting or limiting your life, okay? So what the heck is a lifestyle impact claim? It's a high-value secondary claim, and what it actually is it's a mental health claim, okay? Remember now the difference between a low-value claim and a high-value claim. What I call a high-value claim is an issue or a disability that has a high likelihood of getting rated 30% or higher on its own, okay? And the lifestyle impact claim qualifies for that, okay? Now, what it really is it's chronic pain syndrome with, and I put XX there, with depression, with anxiety, with insomnia, with bipolar, with whatever, right? Any of the mental health issues out there. So for example, let me walk you through how this might apply, okay? So let's say that you have a current service-connected back condition that's rated 10%. And your service-connected back causes you to have chronic pain in your life. And that chronic pain has impacted and affected your life in such a way as perhaps you've gained weight, you've gained 30 pounds, maybe you can't run or walk anymore without help because of your chronic back pain. Perhaps you cannot lift more than 20 pounds over your head. You can't work out anymore. You can't play golf or hockey or enjoy leisurely activities that you used to enjoy. So your chronic pain is impacting your life in a negative way, okay? Because the chronic pain is impacting your life in a negative way, it has caused you to become depressed or have anxiety, okay? You seeing the link here? So what we're doing is you're filing a secondary disability claim inside of eBenefits for chronic pain syndrome with depression, with anxiety, whatever, and you're linking that directly to a service-connected disability rated 0% or higher, Okay, now a special note here is you're not eligible if you're already rated for PTSD or other mental health conditions that are rated 30% or higher as a primary disability. Okay, so if you log into eBenefits and you see post-traumatic stress disorder and you're already rated 30% for that, you're not going to be eligible for a lifestyle impact claim. And the reason you won't be eligible is because the VA will only give you one mental health rating. Okay, so evidence requirements. What do you need to have if you think you have a lifestyle impact claim and you want to file one? You have to have a diagnosis of a mental health condition from a doctor, okay, from a U.S. board certified psychologist or a U.S. board certified psychiatrist, okay? Difference, psychologist is not allowed to prescribe medications, whereas a psychiatrist is. Okay, so you got to have a diagnosis. So if you don't have one, get your butt into the doctor and make sure you're telling them what's going on with your mental health conditions, okay? And especially how that's related to your chronic pain, all right? There needs to be some in-service stressors for service connection. So be thinking about what those things might mean. For a lifestyle impact claim, though, the in-service stressor is going to be existing primary service-connected disabilities, such as your lower back, your knee pain, knee problems, foot problems, perhaps it's your GERD, heart condition, whatever. Okay, so be thinking about what are the current service-connected disabilities you already have that have caused you chronic pain, which have led to your depression and anxiety, okay? And of course, you've got to have medical evidence of symptoms. You've heard me talk numerous times. The number one reason why VA disability claims get denied is due to a lack of clear and convincing medical evidence, okay? Medical nexus letter if you need one, as well as a DBQ for other mental health conditions. You can use our doctor. Just let us know. You can email support@vaclaimsinsider.com. Our U.S. board certified psychologist will talk to you. He will fill out the disability benefits questionnaire for other mental health conditions, diagnosing you with anxiety, depression due to your chronic pain. He or she will also write a medical nexus opinion directly inside of the DBQ. So it'll be a combined DBQ and medical nexus opinion. And then you'll get that back and you'll upload that in eBenefits as supporting medical evidence for your lifestyle impact claim. Okay. Highly, highly recommend as well you write a statement in support of a claim for chronic pain syndrome with depression, with anxiety, whatever your diagnosis is, and talk about how your chronic pain, because of your service-connected disabilities, have impacted your life in a negative way and how you've become depressed and have anxiety, etc. Okay, so highly recommend you document that as well. And then get a buddy letter. So have a spouse, have a coworker, have a boss who observes you at work. Have them document inside of the VA Form 21-4138 how your chronic pain and depression and anxiety is affecting or limiting your life. Okay, that firsthand witness evidence, which substitutes for lay evidence in a VA claim, is crucial. Remember, lay evidence just means after the fact evidence, but it counts for additional medical evidence. So it will help shed some light on the severity of symptoms and how it's related to your other service-connected disabilities, okay? And then what is the process? So a VA lifestyle impact claim, it's very similar to filing any claim or any other mental health claim, all right? You're going to submit it inside of eBenefits. The VA is going to confirm receipt, and they're going to take a look at all the medical evidence you've uploaded, all right? And then more than likely, they're going to schedule you for a compensation and pension exam for mental health. So again, when you file a lifestyle impact claim secondary to other service-connected disabilities, you're actually filing a mental health claim. So if the VA does schedule you for an exam, you're likely going to go see a U.S. board certified psychologist or a U.S. board certified psychiatrist who's going to run you through a whole bunch of questions and ask about your symptoms and when you started noticing and all that, okay? Those results are then going to be sent directly to the VA, into the VA raters, who are going to then review and analyze the evidence as well as the C&P exam results, and eventually they're going to make their rating decision. All right, now I put this table in here. Apologize, it's a bit of an eye chart, but I wanted to be clear about what this means and why I call this a high value claim. Okay, so this table is taken directly from the law. ECFR Title 38, Part 4, the Schedule for Rating Disabilities. These are the actual mental health symptoms and then the corresponding rating that apply to those, okay? And I want to point out a couple things as well as the keywords as you're putting together your lifestyle impact claim, okay? So take a look at the 0% level, okay? I'm on the very bottom here. A mental health condition has been formally diagnosed, but symptoms are not severe enough to interfere with occupational and social functioning or to require continuous medication. All right, if you fall in that category, that those symptoms tie to 0%. Okay, versus let's take a look at the 50% level. So what we see at VA Claims Insider is a lot of veterans end up around 30 to 50% with their lifestyle impact claim. And so look at the symptoms under 50%. Occupational and social impairment with reduced reliability and productivity due to such symptoms as flattened effect, circumstantial or stereotype speech, panic attacks more than once a week, difficulty in understanding complex commands, impairment of short and long-term memory, impaired judgment for getting to complete tasks, disturbances of motivation and mood, difficulty in establishing and maintaining effective work in social relationships. Okay, that's much higher, right? Those symptoms, the level of occupational and social impairment at the 50% level is much different than at 0%, right? And it goes up from there. So take a look at the 100% level. Now, we don't see this very often just because the symptoms are so severe at the 100% level. So I'm at the very top now. It says total occupational and social impairment due to such symptoms as gross impairment in thought processes or communication, persistent delusions or hallucinations, grossly inappropriate behavior, persistent danger of hurting oneself or others, intermittent inability to perform activities of daily living, disorientation to time or place, memory loss of names or close relatives, own occupation or own name. So as you can see, this basically means you're not able to function on your own. That's how severe your mental health symptoms are. So again, the reason why I point this chart out is you need to be aware of the keywords and the symptoms of occupational and social impairment that tie to the particular rating that you think you should have. So for example, if you think you're at about the 70% level, when you write your statement in support of a claim, make sure you're including keywords like, I've contemplated suicide many times, I'm having literally continuous panic attacks, I'm depressed all the time, I've had trouble at work, I've had angry outbursts at coworkers, I'm now divorced because of my mental health issues and symptoms. Perhaps you can no longer have sexual intercourse anymore because the medications you're taking really affect your libido or erectile dysfunction. So be thinking about how you can tie these keywords associated with the rating level into your supporting statements. Okay, this is all about control of your claim and making sure that you guys get the rating and compensation you deserve, okay? So again, when you file a lifestyle impact claim, it's very likely you're going to need a C&P exam. So you got to be prepared because you're preparing for like any other mental health C&P exam, okay? So the first thing, you got to know what's in your records cold, all right? Inside your medical records, you need to know what the doctors have been saying, what your diagnosis is, and how severe your chronic pain and depression, anxiety symptoms are, okay? Make sure you also review the disability benefits questionnaire for mental health conditions. You can Google right now, disability benefit questionnaire for other mental health conditions, and take a look at the questions and the symptoms that are listed on that form. Because that document and those questions are the exact questions that the C&P examiner is looking at when you go in, okay? Take a look at the ECFR Title 38 Part 4, the schedule for mental health symptoms and ratings. You saw it on the previous slide there. Make sure you know the keywords associated with the various ratings, and have a general understanding of where you should fall on that scale, okay? A couple other tips. This is not the time to have your best day at your C&P exam. In fact, you need to have your worst day. All right. I'm not telling you to lie or stretch the truth. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is you need to make sure that you present yourself in a way so that the doctor understands how you are on your very worst days. Okay. If you're too depressed that you can't even get out of bed, you call in sick to work, make sure you're telling the C&P examiner that. Okay. And the other tip I share here is be what I call uncomfortably vulnerable. All right. And what that means is if the things that you need to say or the things that you are telling the C&P examiner, if it's uncomfortable for you to say it or talk about it, you're on the right track. Okay. So for example, let's say you're taking, you've tried all kinds of mental health medications to help with your depression, anxiety, and chronic pain. And those medicines have lowered your libido, caused you to have erectile dysfunction. Perhaps you're no longer able to have sexual intercourse anymore. And it's really affecting your relationship with your spouse. Okay. Tell the doctor that. All right. Obviously, that's not something that's very comfortable to talk about. But the reason you need to get that out is because you're sharing just how severe your symptoms are. Okay. And again, there's no substitute for knowing your story cold. Now, remember, a lifestyle impact claim, you're filing for chronic pain with something, depression and anxiety, all right? And that's what makes you eligible for this high-value secondary claim, is your other service-connected disabilities have caused you to have chronic pain, and that chronic pain has led to your depression and anxiety, which is ultimately a secondary mental health claim. Okay? Thank you all for your service. God bless you and your family. I hope you found this useful. Again, we talked all about a lifestyle impact claim and if you might have one and what you need to do. If you need help, feel free to email support@vaclaimsinsider.com. If you'd like to use our U.S. board certified psychologist, let me know. Email support@vaclaimsinsider.com. And we'll help get that set up for you guys, okay? All right, thanks, gang. We'll talk to you real soon.